Hi, I'm Margie Gradwell from the Worldwide Partner Group. Today, I want to share with you various strategies for developing effective training programs for your channel partners. We are seeing a number of distributors providing their channels with qualified leads, so you'll want to ensure those partners are capable of selling your solution. Let's begin with a story. I changed the name, of course, but it's about a successful solution provider. Let's call it Northwest Traders. They just joined a cloud market and were able to recruit a small number of well-qualified channel sales partners. Northwest Traders has achieved success through direct sales and support for their system-based apps to customers, but now they want to expand into new markets. One of their new channel partners is experienced in helping customers set up Azure environments. They have skilled sales executives who have developed long-term relationships with a number of large customers across multiple geographies. When Northwest Traders and this channel partner met, they discussed their overall sales and deployment processes, and they determined how they could best work together. Based on their discussion, Northwest Traders put together a plan to train the sales force and technical specialists. Unfortunately, it took a few months before everything was ready to roll out. A better scenario for both companies would be if Northwest Traders already had a training program in place and then, as necessary, customize it for future channel partners. The purpose of this session is to help you plan your sales and technical training programs to accelerate your partner's time to market. To build a successful training, consider these 5 characteristics. First, good training is not a one-size-fits-all. It's tailored to meet the needs of the audience. Structure your training to teach specific and relevant skills to sales and technical staff. For example, it might be helpful for a seller to understand some basics on deployment, how long it can take, and any of the system requirements, but they don't need necessarily all the detailed instructions on how to do it. Instead, focus the sales staff on tasks they need to perform, such as customer qualification and objection handling. Second, good training builds on current knowledge skills of your audience. Your channel sales partner will typically have skills and knowledge in your target market or technology platform. Good training takes into consideration their existing skills and knowledge. It helps your partner reach the next level. Third, practice and feedback to build confidence. Just listening to a presentation on a set of tasks doesn't mean that you can actually complete the task. Your audience needs to try it out. Equally important is providing feedback and coaching to them. Finally, good training introduces available resources to continue learning over time. With rapid change and updates to technology, your audience needs to know where to find current information. Part of your training program should include how to locate and use sales and technical resources provided by your company. Now that we've discussed some characteristics of good training, let's turn our attention to how to plan and some key questions to consider. First, who needs to be trained? As we already stated, your training needs to be developed for a specific audience. It may be sales, telesales, or technical support. Second, what do you need to train them on? Focus on the content and skills needed by sales and technical staff to be successful on the job. Next, which delivery option to use? Your cloud market or CSP may have events or web platforms you can leverage, but consider your audience, where they are located, and what you are trying to achieve when selecting a delivery option. Finally, consider how your audience will continue to learn, update and improve their skills after training is complete. Let's look at each of these in greater detail. The first step in designing your training solutions is to identify your audience and analyze their current knowledge and skills relevant to your app and the cloud market. Then, identify a list of training objectives, that is, the skills and knowledge needed to be effective in selling or deploying your solution. By comparing what is needed with their current state, you will have defined the gaps that your training must address. Next, determine the knowledge and skills your audience will need to be successful. The table shows a set of training objectives for sales and for the technical staff. The content should be tailored for that specific audience, sales versus technical. You should also consider your app and target market. Most apps fall into one of the two categories, task-based apps or systems apps. While all the skills shown in the table may be relevant regardless of the app type, the amount of training time may vary. For example, solution providers with system-based apps may concentrate more time on implementing and supporting their solution than solution providers with task-based apps. I just mentioned how the app type can influence the content of training. App type can also influence the training delivery options. Solution providers with task-based apps are primarily using webinars such as Skype for Business to train channel partners. Many of the cloud markets provide an opportunity for you to participate or lead webinars to their sellers. Don't pass up this opportunity. Research has shown us that solution providers with system-based apps are using hybrid approaches that typically include instructor-led workshops, especially for the technical staff. This is due to the more complex subject matter that requires more training time and often hands-on activities. In fact, some of our successful system app providers have built full certification programs for their channel. Once you have determined the delivery options, it's time to build out your training program. In talking with our solution vendors, the best training programs are short in length and demonstrate strong relevance and value for the participants. If your content requires a few hours to complete, consider chunking it into smaller 30-minute webinars. Or if you are doing an instructor-led event, consider shorter modules punctuated with breaks. Shorter training times also help ensure you keep the audience attention. Regardless of media, consider structuring your content to include an introduction that sets expectations for the learner as to what the training will cover and the value it will have for them. Follow this with a mix of presentation, demonstration, and interaction. Allow for practice opportunities and interaction. Always summarize key learning points. Close the session by reinforcing the key takeaways and whenever possible, provide a call to action directing participants to continue learning by using the resources or job aids provided. Learning should not end with your training program. Successful ISVs today are looking for opportunities to extend learning through one or more of the following strategies. One of the best strategies is to develop on-the-job resources, such as an FAQ, telesales scripts, online references, or a how-to manual. Using these resources during your training increases the likelihood that your trainees will use them back on the job. Other strategies include ways to provide ongoing interaction with your audience after training has concluded, such as holding office hours. Define a specific time when the trainees can contact instructors or subject matter experts. Questions raised during office hours can then be used to expand your FAQ document. Finally, invite participants to join a Yammer community to ask questions and view what others are sharing about your app. In summary, we discussed a number of topics relevant to training your channel partners. Good training is not a one-size-fits-all. It's tailored to meet the needs of the audience. Good training builds on the current knowledge and skill sets of the trainee and helps fill in gaps. Practice and feedback are an essential part of the learning process. Good training builds confidence in performing tasks. And finally, good training introduces available resources to continue learning over time. In closing, here are 3 things you can do right now. Begin planning and building your training. Having your training programs ready will enable a faster onboarding time from your early newly recruited channel partners. Work with your cloud market or CSP to leverage available resources, platforms, or events to deliver your training. Don't forget to consider building resources and opportunities for continuous learning. Microsoft is investing in helping solution providers like you be successful in cloud markets. Please take advantage of the training development resources and guidance available from Microsoft to help. These documents will help you create not only good but excellent training for your channel sales partners. Thank you so much for joining me today.